Hello everyone who's just oh so keen to get your giant thing flying and, like, have it actually work properly. I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. Let's build. Screw it, CRAM Canoe. So, in this episode of this Let's Build, I do not know why I've spontaneously put on a French accent, we're getting to that part of the build, and like, if you've played From the Depths enough, you know what I mean by that part. It's the bit where it's mostly done, it mostly does what you wanted to do, but it's just going to be a lot of tweaking. Now, to start off with, brace yourself for bread, but before that, brace yourself for me redoing, well, the engine pods, so to speak. So, like, I realize at one point, in fact, like, I'm really starting to realize a lot of things here. This thing is not going to reverse. The AI doesn't really know how to do that in a way that's, like, useful, unless I make it, like, point at the target. Like, you know, if it's not like, what the hell was that behavior called? It's like, point at and maintain distance. The AI generally doesn't know how to reverse in a way that's helpful. So yeah, like, we're just getting rid of the reverse gears on the ions, and for now, we might have to stick them back. Maybe I'll figure something out. But anyway, maybe I should just change the behavior altogether. I believe maybe if I change this to a hover behavior, and particularly if I put strafing thrusters on it, because goodness knows we have room for that, and could work decently well. Maybe that could be a thing that worked, because you're also going to see some combat testing in this video, and we're running into the expected problems of having a fast CRAM broadsider. Like, CRAM broadsiders already, to begin with, you are playing this game on hard mode if you want to have a CRAM broadsider that's, like, effective, particularly in the end game. Because the Grey Talons and Scarlet Dawn are 99% immune to a CRAM thing that is trying to broadside. It's just like, it's a frontsider is easier because you could just have that thing fly fast enough in a straight line and maintain its distance very well, and it's all okay. But the reason that CRAM broadsiders, and like, I knew this going into this, by the way, the reason that they're got a bit of a problem is because they're going essentially perpendicular to the angle the CRAMs are being fired at. It means that they can slow down their own CRAM shells, because I am led to believe that all projectiles, or most of them at the very least from the depths, they do inherit part of their craft's speed. So if you fire a bullet forwards, it goes slightly faster, and if you fire it backwards, it's also slightly faster. The problem is that CRAMs are so slow to begin with that, like, it's really, really noticeable with them. Like, if you're going, like, forward and shooting backward, if you're moving 100 meters per second, that CRAM cannon is slowed by 100 meters per second, which is like a third of its maximum speed. And yes, there is the converse of which if you're going forward at 100 meters per second and you fire forward, then you have a 400 meters per second CRAM shell. There are not exploits, but like definitely things to do with like CRAM bombers, or I should say just gunships. Or just gun planes that, like, you can do things with that. But that's kind of the problem with that, isn't it? It's like, it's really good if you do this very specific thing, but if you do a different very specific thing, it's, like, it absolutely ruins the show. Which is, I don't know, I don't think that was ever the original intent with CRAM cannons. They're supposed to be like battleship-grade artillery, right? And, having to drive at full speed towards something to fire your howitzer just kind of... Well, it's not a howitzer. A howitzer is different. I forget, what is the definition of a howitzer? I believe it's like just field artillery, I guess? I could Google this, but I'm not going to. And I'm just going to keep vamping over the bread here. Thank goodness for the copy-paste bread. Seriously, like, but this build in particular, which is like starting to get to a point where it's like, it is breaded to hell and back. Like, yeah, it is very, very handy. And this thing would be completely useless if it wasn't for all this breadboard that we're sticking on it. Honestly, I might just turn... You know what I really should do? Is like, maybe I should just take all these thrusters and these ion jets, and maybe I should have just made, like, you know, stuck them on spin blocks or something, because that's how you really get good turning, And particularly with anything long and canoe-shaped like this, you really do need to max out your turning potential, your turning portfolio, if you will. Because it's just the nature of the thing. It's like a long thing does not turn well. It has a lot of drag going sideways. Yeah, so it's like, this thing turns decently well. Unfortunately, the AI is still kind of stupid, unfortunately. Like, in the combat testing, this works great against surface targets. You will see that shortly. But against anything that's flying, like, even if it's not flying that fast, this thing just kinda sucks. Unfortunately, because it is a CRAM thing. And I like people call me the CRAM guy, but honestly, I very rarely use CRAM in the way that it is most effective, which is a front-sider which drives it like very fast towards the enemy so the CRAMs get a nice speed boost. That is the smart way to do it. Like, if you want an example of good CRAMcraft, what's it? I think is it the Cassiopeia? Is the Scarlet Dawn scary CRAM thing? That's an example, and actually I think we tested, like, in this very video, the helicopter, the Twin Guard helicopter CRAM thing. That is good crammage. What I'm doing here is not good crammage, because you're broadsiding, and that's silly. And because CRAMs, like, just due to how they kind of work, they're not great with, like, long craft. I mean, not long craft, sorry, that brain melted, apparently. They're not good on narrow craft. They need to be kind of chunky. They need to be square-shaped. And this is the opposite of a square-shaped thing. This is a frickin' tube. But anyway, here's an important thing, is like, yes, this thing costs almost twice as much as the Onyx Throne, but the main job of this is to be something that kills fortresses quickly. That's kind of the whole point. It is overkill on purpose. So when you take off 4% volley of the Onyx Throne, which is a quite an infamously, I guess, like, air gap-filled thing, that's a good start. That's a good start. So technically this thing, like, in this very demonstration, it already does what I want it to do, which is kill fortresses very quickly. Because I do tend to find that if, like, there's things you use 99% of the time, so things like missiles and all that kind of stuff, it's not quick. They can do it, they can kill fortresses. In particular, the whole idea behind this thing being a dedicated fortress shooty McFace, that's the technical term, I guess, was because in my little playthrough of the Steel Striders mini-campaign, like, the HQs took so long to take down, and I was missing CRAM cannons a lot. And so here's the second combat test. It's just like, alright, we need to see how well this does against, like, the Stronghold, which is, again, like, the kind of thing this thing is designed to kill. It's just to, like, quickly and economically kill big fat things that sit on the surface. And it does that just fine. And it dodges CRAMs quite handy. Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Also, interesting visual effect from, like, the poles and the rotors on top. Very nice. Very, very nice. And it's doing absolutely fine. Those CRAMs are getting through the active defenses on the Stronghold. And the occasional hit. Armor is keeping up. Of course, you probably best not to, over-test against, like, you know, the Onyx Watch or Deepwater Guard or anything like that. Because they are the prior factions. In fact, there's been discussions in me Patreon Discord. By the way, I have a Patreon and a linked Discord to it. In case you didn't know that already, I only vamp it every single video. But talking about, like, the, like, overall difficulty experience from the depths, and how the Deepwater Guard and Onyx Watch are kind of like, they kind of lull new players into a false sense of security, really, because, like, past them, that's when things get, like, very interesting. And so, like, you can build something, well, like a wooden CRAM canoe, for instance, my favorite thing to build, and then you think you're fine. And then you walk straight into the, like, you know, the Twin Guard and the Lightning Hoods and the White Flares and the Steel Striders and all that stuff. So just those factions, not even the endgame ones, not even the Grey Talons and Scarlet Dawn. And then you realize the hard way, oh wait, these guys have ridiculous miniguns that, like, tear your ships to shreds before their shells even land. Because your CRAM cannons are slow in every single sense of the word. Yeah, that's a problem. we're really gonna have to, we are really gonna have to, change the thing so it turns better, because that's the thing. Like, it's not like having a cram broadsider go fast is not helpful if it goes so fast that, like, gets too far away from the target. So there's going to be a lot of tweaking, and like, I don't know how long this particular little Let's Build series is going to last. It's going to take a while. And also trying to pace myself so I don't burn out on FTD entirely while doing it. But, you should take that as a measure of success. The thing does what I wanted to do. And this is just me putting some, some sonar in here. This thing also doesn't technically have 360 detection, which is interesting because it is landing shots fairly reliably. Turns out if you just spam bearing rangefinders, that generally does the trick. Not always though. I have to mention that. If you use hit scan weapons, you gotta use infrared. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. Anyway, sonar boys, it's been a while since I've stuck these on anything. So it takes a little bit of getting to remember how exactly they work, and my first default thing is to make missiles that are too long, out of sheer force of habit, because I am a little bit addicted to using these rail launcher things to get extra length of missile, and also to put them at funky angles and stuff like that. And, yeah, the missile is too long, pointless. Like, what else am I gonna put on here? Absolutely nothing. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Alright, so we got the launches. We're remembering how these damn things work, and that is perfect. Well, mostly perfect. So we got a fuel tank, and like, I put the short range thruster on there just to like, just to kind of like get it into the water early, so that if the thing is shooting at something that's below the surface, it would help if it gets those boys down sooner rather than later. That would definitely be a good idea. And then I get distracted by aesthetics, because aesthetics is important. So, going to Breadboard. What were you doing here? Alright, I think... What was I doing here? I was doing something. There was something very specific. Oh, right. Power control goes there. And, like, labeling my breadboard was like, this is something I want to do. It's like, it's a good, I guess it's a good habit in program, too, is you put notes all over the place, because you never know, the poor bastard who might be looking at whatever you're doing next might be you. So you're gonna wanna fix that. Alright, what are we trying to do? This is like, I was trying to find here, you'll notice I linger on that, like, for quite some time. I'm trying to find a setting that, like, you know, can just change all the thrusters on your craft, like change the color and activate, like, the custom color and all that stuff. Didn't really find it. I could change the color, but the activation of it, that was more difficult. So I need to go here. I found that, like, data, jet color, 1, 0. Didn't know how to get that working, but yep. Tried that, and... Right, so good news is I did kind of figure out how to do that. And, yeah, so it's like, you know, Breadboard is more good for more than just how your character's behaving. ACPs as well, they're also quite good for, like, doing little shortcuts. So instead of going and pressing Q and, like, adjusting sliders on damn near every block you've placed, you can use it to kind of, like, change all of them all at once, assuming you want all of them to be kind of the same. So, yeah, like, that Breadboard is lovely for that. It's like, it is... You do get a reminder that this is an indie game, and it hasn't covered everything. Just from the fact that there's options in ACBs that is not in Breadboard and vice versa. Is like, I don't know, maybe it'll get upgraded. I think... Is Breadboard easy to update in terms of functionality? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I've never coded a thing in my life. Actually, I have, technically. Tried to learn Unity that one time. We shall not speak of that time. And Control-C, Control-V. I remember the days when there wasn't Control-C and Control-V in front of the depths. Mother of pearl, those were dark, dark days. Those were dark, dark days for us. Those were dark, dark days for us. I'm actually quite tempted to, like, take these wings and just, like, put the whole damn thing on a spin block and have it, like, swing 45 degrees so this thing can actually turn effectively. That would be a good idea. Also got to paint the propellers, that is important. So yeah, this is the point where it's like, you don't have to leave aesthetics till the very end. In fact, it's more time efficient if you don't, if you have ambitions of looking as good as you possibly want. But yeah, I got sidetracked with this kind of thing. So yeah, huge color, light color, just wanted to see if that could change things, and it did. Very nice. Very, very nice, and now you just have to do all of this, have to do all of this, or have to do all of this, have to do all of this. I think I changed it back, actually. Like, I did that, and then I didn't like it, and then I changed it. Okay, then. And this is basically what we're doing here. It's like, you know, it's not tremendously exciting, and also, at this point, I'm like, can you please do a figure 8 patrol pattern so I can actually see all your turning thrusters turn? And, like, can you please? Can you please? Can you please? Please and thank you. Merci beaucoup. I have spontaneously turned French again. It is very warm in this room. I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble! In case that wasn't obvious. Trouble is being had. My middle name is Trouble. My first name is Avoids Trouble. I do avoid trouble. I hope you avoid trouble as well. Trouble is troubling. That is that's something that should be taught in school, is that trouble is troubling. Do you remember being taught that in school? I don't remember being taught that in school. They were just teaching us, like, I don't know. They were teaching us music and Spanish badly. That's one of the main things I remember from school. School is one of those things, it's like, most of the things they teach you, like, doesn't actually have much relevance in your later life, but it's the, like, you never know is the thing. It might be relevant. But also, it is essential to, like, teach people, like, I don't know, basic biology, so they don't get suckered by, like, people selling, you know, fake cures for cancer and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, I'm rambling about school now, and I don't want to. I want to ramble about CRAM cannons. But what can I ramble about with CRAM cannons that has not been said already? A lot of people don't use them at all, simply because they are in a very awkward, game balance space. And talking about game balance in From the Depths is kind of silly, really, because, like, most people just treat this as, like, 3D modeling software that has, like, integrated combat. And it actually does kind of straddle the line, because you can export blueprint files as STL files, and, like, hell, you could even 3D print them and stuff like that. It is entirely possible. So yeah, it's just like this friggin' game, man. But to do with CRAM cannons, like, if CRAM cannons were removed from the game, I think a lot of people, including me to a certain extent, would be quite upset, but also would be understandable. These things occupy a really weird kind of niche that is not very helpful, because it's like their main thing that they're good at is against surface targets that move slowly or predictably, or both, especially both. And then, like, like, things that move slowly and predictably, or both, like, just get hammered by literally everything else anyway. And the size of craft at, like, the point where a CRAM cannon is the most efficient way to damage it, or kill it, as opposed to everything else, is things like G-Modism's Gimli. So things like that. Things that are like 80,000 blocks. Or the Turtle Lord. Remember the Turtle Lord? You should. I did a Weird and Wonderful on that back in the day. Or did I? I think I did. Am I gonna have to check that? I can't be bothered. You in the comments, you let me know. You let me know if I've covered the Turtle Lord or not. Like, I'm too hot and bothered. I'm going to take a sip of water. Because I need it. That is your reminder at home to drink water. It is good for you. Alright, so now that we've colored all the thrusters on these things, remember, colored thrusters make you go faster. That is a true thing that I just said. I definitely didn't lie. Now we're starting to get them like it's starting to be more metal. And now we have to paint the propellers. So yeah, this is time that I really could have spent. It's time I really could have spent, you know, tweaking this thing so it can actually fight the Great Talons and Scarlet Dawn a little bit. Did I do that? No. I might have to just slap a nuke launcher on this and call it a day. Or maybe put harpoons on it. That could be fun. Or maybe graviton rams. Or not. I don't know. I don't know. What else should I put on this? It's already so full of cram. Maybe I should swap the smallest cram turrets for, like, plasma or something. That could work. Plasma's nice and compact. We could stick some battery charge on here. Actually, suggestions, people. Like, this thing is a decent flying broadside, and if it wasn't for the cram cannons, like, it would probably work just fine for the most part. You can imagine, like, sticking rail guns on this thing. Work pretty damn well. I should probably decor those iron jets to, like, look completely different, because, iron jets always have that kind of blue center, which is like, no likey. Me, no likey. Also, fun thing, some people don't like custom props. I love them. I might have a bit of a problem, because I like them too much. This thing is like evidence of me liking them too much, because honestly, if you wanted to make an effective flying thingy, you would be relying on custom jets, not props. I'm using props, I'm using ions, but there's good reasons for it. This thing does do the thing of getting into space when it absolutely has to. Preferably it shouldn't, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta. Maybe I should just, like, put some cruise missiles on this, like, really... Oh yeah, just duct tape some stuff. Yeah, maybe on the top. Some just very long-range cruise missiles that, like, enable it to, like, shoot things that are, like, far, far away. And not nukes. Maybe nukes. I think nukes would be good. Like, this would, like... This thing is so big and expensive and eats so much money that, like, you know, what's a nuke crafter do? I don't want to rely too heavily on nuke spawners, but I think this thing, it probably would do the trick. And I think I know how to set up the nuke spawner in a way that's, like, kind of automatic. I don't know why I was pausing there. I think maybe I was looking at my phone, because I'm a trained professional. When I am recording, I look at the phone. And this is me just mucking around with the color. I'm very fond now, at the moment of, like, painting patterns on things. It's very nice. Very nice. You can't go wrong with putting stripes and stuff on things. And deco makes it even better. I'm looking at this right now and thinking, man, not a fan of this. Do better, BorderWise. You are not the most infamous aesthetics man in the world. And also the sides of this thing could probably use some greebling as well. I could put some... You know what I should do? I should put some extra spaced armor on the sides, just because, you know, that's very helpful. Right. I'm gonna make notes right here, looking back at my foot. This is helpful, actually, to think about what you're gonna do. So, screw it, CRAM Canoe 4 part 7 is... extra ablative armor on sides and greebling. Greebling is one of my favorite words now. It's so good. That's me experimenting with, like, kind of canoe patterns on it, because putting canoes on your canoes enables them to canoe more efficiently, because there's more canoe for the same price. What else? Like, I don't know. Nukes? Or maybe just sub-vehicles. There's a lot of space on this thing. We could make a carrier. We could literally just, like, you know, duct tape a missile bomber onto this thing, and, like, you know, it'd be fine and dandy. This is kind of an endgame, like, bugger it. Things are giant and huge. Might as well just throw more stuff at them. And, like, like, nukes. Aircraft. Definitely not the Gremlin. I'm not sticking the Gremlin on this, because at the point where this thing gets trotted out, it really needs to... What I do need to do is lasers. This thing does need point defenses. Lasers. Probably also just need lamps to deal with the odd APS shell. So yeah, there is a lot of that. This thing is also going to get, like, horribly bullied by nuclear weapons, because that's how we do around here. Boy. I could, like, this thing does go over 100 meters per second, but at the same time, like, if you have like a laser turret on a tractor beam behind it, it'll just kind of follow along and just be kind of, like, kind of fun. So, aircraft, tractored laser vehicle. I think that would be pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I need to go look at the Laniakea, like, look at Lani for laser target prio. I think, like, I'm not sure you could do anything in Breadboard to, like, detect whether an enemy craft has a specific block on it. Because the laser on the Laniakea really does, like, it zeroes in on nuke vehicles, like, well, suicide vehicles, rather, like, you know, like, with, like, it snaps to it. It's like, yep, nope, not doing that. Oh, I have ambitions for this thing. You've already seen the ambitions for this thing. So ambitious. Hambitious. Also, yeah, shout out to my girlfriend for introducing me to the Ghibli movie, Ponyo. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good so far. I have not finished it, but now I understand. It's a meme. Ponyo loves ham. If you know that meme, do let me know. Man, Ghibli films are good. It's my favorite anime. And most anime, even, like, the straight-up anime fans have told me most anime is bad. But then again, if you're talking any kind of art medium, most of it is bad. Like, the good stuff gets attention, or at least the popular stuff gets attention. It's not always the same thing. But yeah, you got this bad anime, this bad video games, this bad Western animation. I haven't actually seen much Western animation in my time. I'm trying to think, like, what's a genuinely bad one? Like, as in something that it came out and just everyone, like, universally hated it. I'd be like, that'd be interesting to know. I could Google that, but I'm going to forget what I've said in approximately, like, 5 minutes or so. So, yeah, so I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't do it. Do it now. Kill me. I'm tasty. Alright, I am just rambling due to, like, heat craze right now. I need to go lie down. I'm gonna go lie down and set a video rendering, I think. That would be a good idea. I like that idea. Well done, me. You are full of good ideas. You know what would be a really good idea? Not building a frickin' CRAM broadsider, because it's silly. Only silly people do that. In this day and age, when we know that front-siding railguns and pierce lasers are the way to go, and pack, I guess, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, sir? What do you think you're doing? Well, sometimes a man's got to follow his heart and just do canoe things. Sometimes you just got to do it. I don't even have good canoe puns today. Although, I don't think I ever did, to be perfectly honest with you. So, yep. Now there's gonna come some combat testing, and you're just gonna see firsthand just how not good this thing is at dealing with the things that are likely to run into it. So, the Aquila, I believe... What is this? This is a hard design, yeah? Yeah, so this thing's too fast. This thing is too fast, and our CRAM Canoe, instead of flying close to it, flies approximately 100 miles away, and that is bad. Boy. I should also do... There's also fun things to do with, like, ACB and stuff like that. Like, you can cut forward thrust. So, like, find way to cut forward thrust when close enough to enemy. So what is that? Like, I think, yeah, that's the... What is that? That's the Hunchback. That's another thing. I'm testing this thing at the moment against things that are roughly its cost, and it's not going well. It's not going very well at all. Largely because, like, all Great Talons things that are roughly in the 800k range are, like, a lot more compact than this, and they're fast, and they move evasively, which is exactly the wrong kind of thing for a CRAM cannon to shoot at. So, again, this is the kind of thing where, really, I think the Hunchback's done more damage to itself than the CRAM Canoe managed to do to it, which is annoying. So yeah, like, you know, the whole premise is not good. This is me messing around with the behavior and all that kind of stuff. And the problem is that you lose no matter what. Like, if you set the You set the angle of the broadside too high, the thing never gets close enough to hit anything. Set it too low, what happens is that it gets too close, gets shot right in the face, and, yep, much like that. The Hunchback has big scary missiles. Oh dear. This is why you don't fly straight towards things. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Oh, poor CRAM. 10% health lost already. This thing is actually kind of squishy as well, which is not ideal. It is designed to dodge CRAM cannons. Unfortunately, the harder factions of Niter are smart, and they don't use... There's also the fact that the AI is not quite the altitude it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be higher than the enemy, and like it never seems to quite manage it. And of course, you've got the circling CRAM problem of if you're circling and they're trying to circle you, or if they're just trying to point straight at you, it means they're constantly turning, which means your CRAMs will always miss. This is one of the major reasons why fast CRAM broadsiders are a very, very bad idea. And it's why I'm probably gonna... Hold on. Switch to Azipot. Which should be reasonably easy to do now, because this thing, like, I've already set up the breadboard for all the propulsion on it, so it should be okay. Like, it should be okay to, like, prefab that and just switch it to Azipods. I'm writing this literally down here on my note paper, and, like, I don't know if I'm gonna remember to even look at this. I better remember to friggin' look at this. Like, everyone comment now. Remember to do the thing. And, like, you don't even need to say what the thing is. It's like, remember to look at paper. Paper is good. Yeah, and there's 87% health just knocked off immediately. And the Monsoon is very much like the Hunchback, really. It's just a similar thing. Just launches big missiles and kills you immediately. I love that. Also, missile interceptors. We clearly need those. Active defenses are a good idea, as it turns out. Interceptors. Missile interceptors and ECM. ECM is very handy. ECM. We could just also have, like, blinding... There's a thing with LAMS nodes, is like, when a missile is getting shot at by LAMS, it, like, loses its ability to track if it's an IR or radar-guided missile. I don't think remote-guided missiles, like, give a damn about that kind of thing. So, what are we looking at? Looking at the disgust. This is another thing, again, I just realized that I've just spawned in so many things that just throw huge missiles at you, and it's like, well, great, that's nice. And it's managed to land some shots, and then not others, and it's all just a thing. And once again, we are managing to get too far away from the damn thing. And what's agonizing is that these CRAMs are missing by inches. Also need to add more detection, honestly. Like, part of my problem is that, like, this thing doesn't have, like, genuinely good detection. Add detection. Add superstructure, because we need that. We need that. We need that, doot. We need that, doot. So this is, trying something, and immediately the nose is blown off completely by those big missiles. Like, there's a point that keeps happening in Front of the Depths where it's just like, there are limits to the problem solving in this game. It's like, it's almost like this is a video game and there's correct and incorrect ways to play it. Kind of. What I'm doing right now, at least the state that this canoe thing is in, is not working. I've danced this dance many times before, like, yep, nope, horrible miss. What's really irritating is that it misses, like, by so little sometimes, but it's like the entire volley misses the same way, and it's so sad. But I brought this on myself, so, you know, I brought this on myself, and I have no one to blame myself. Why did I save so many times in a row? That's strange and weird. But anyway, that's this episode of building the Screw It CRAM Canoe, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you didn't enjoy, I'm terribly sorry. May you find more enjoyable things in your life very soon. But I hope they're canoes, because, like, how dare you? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on a Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you, like the aforementioned Patreon Discord, where we can complain about CRAM cannons and canoes and, or celebrate them, depending on how we're feeling that day. And I will look at your craft, I will build stuff for you, I'll draw stuff for you, at the various tiers, because I'm a magic man of at least 2 talents, which is build canoe and draw canoe. Do check out my Twitch streams as well. We do From the Depths on there, of course, but we also do other games. Recently finished a playthrough of The Witcher 2, which was hilarious because that's a game that is janky as balls but takes itself very seriously. Always a good time. And also there's the art streams, which is how I know how to draw canoe. I drew the Manu once. If you don't know what the Manu is, oh boy, you're in for a treat. Or not, you're in for, craving brain bleach. But in any case, all of you have a good one, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell!